Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dadas Show, coming to you from the newly refurbished Manzoni 680 Hotel here in Nairobi's CBD. I'm your host, Ashiko Ombune. Now, as our name suggests, the Dadas Show aspires to promote the spirit of sisterhood and solidarity amongst Kenyan women. And we do this by creating an open and a safe platform for women to discuss issues as pertaining to their health and well-being, their lifestyle, their careers, their families, and anything that affects them in one way or another. We also pride ourselves in having the conversations that matter, not only to women, but to families and to communities at large. Now, the skin is the largest organ in the body. It serves very, very vital functions, from protecting us to our metabolism to also sensation. Of course, this explains why skincare is high priority to both men and women. But with the emergence of so many skincare routines and products, do we really know what we are using on our skin to get that glow? Do we fully understand the risks and the benefits, both short and long term, when it comes to these products and practices? On today's episode of Dadas Show, I am joined by a panel of experts who are going to take us through the nuances of skincare in a bid for us to understand this vital organ. This is definitely a conversation you don't want to miss, especially for us ladies. So as always, we invite you to take part in this and any other conversation that we may have across all social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach us on Facebook at Dadas Show KBC, or reach me personally at Ashiko the host across all social media platforms. Before we get into today's conversation, let's take a look at the following feature.
We all want that healthy, glowing skin. However, there are so many advice out there, it's hard to know what's fact, what's fiction, and what actually works. To clear up the confusion about skincare with myths, facts, and some easy tips to keep your skin healthy and glowing, Caroline Mueni breaks down a simple skincare routine that takes less than 5 minutes.
Your moisturizer will depend on your skin type. A moisturizer that works for me might not work for you. In this case, I'm using a cream moisturizer. So this is the second last step. That is if it's during the day, and the last step if it's at night. So you go in with your moisturizer. You need to be generous with your moisturizer to ensure that your skin is well hydrated. Remember never to skip your moisturizer. Even if you have an oily skin type, you should never skip your moisturizer.
Morning and evening skincare routines differ because the skin has different needs during the day compared to the night.
When it comes to skincare, you need both your morning routine and your evening routine. Now, for most people, the morning routine is as simple as a foam cleanser, a serum, a moisturizer, and not forgetting your sunscreen. So a morning routine is very simple for most people.
An easy evening routine does not necessarily need a sunscreen.
For the evening routine, it will be a bit advanced for some people because number one, you need to go in with your oil cleanser. Especially if you use makeup or you have blackheads and whiteheads, you need an oil cleanser to be the first step in your skincare routine. Not forgetting, for some people, you'll need your anti-aging serums like retinol, all those. Those are only applied during the evening skincare routine. And the first product will be an oil cleanser. Now this is very essential, especially for those who wear makeup. This will be very essential to remove your makeup because most makeup is oil-based. So an oil cleanser is very good for getting the makeup out, you can see. So you use your oil cleanser to remove your makeup. Even if you don't use makeup, it's very good to start your routine, your evening routine, with an oil cleanser. And when it comes to an oil cleanser, you need to consider your skin type because not all of them that can be compatible with your skin type. So if you have an oily skin type or a sensitive skin type, you need an oil cleanser that is very lightweight, alcohol-free, and fragrance-free. And if you have dry skin, I would advise an oil cleanser that is a bit thick, so that it can be able to hydrate your skin better. So that is something that you need to consider while choosing your oil cleansers.
So remember to cleanse, moisturize, and protect. Easy, simple steps twice a day and your skin will thank you. That's your quick glow-up guide for today. Stick with it and shine on. For Dadas Show, my name is Miriam Odanga.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Dadas Show, and our episode or topic of today is the do's and the don'ts for skincare. We all admit the past 3 years skincare revolution has taken us to a new height. There's every new different routine, there's a new product for, for morning, for night. But what do we really know and what do we really understand about what we are putting on our skins, or what we are actually ingesting to make our skins better, for lack of a better word? So joining us to explore and to unpack this particular topic is a wonderful, like I mentioned, a panel of experts. We are covered today, ladies and gentlemen. We are covered. So right next to me, I've got a Dr. Margaret Gashanja, who is a licensed dermatologist. For those who don't know, a dermatologist ni daktari wa ngozi. Oh, good. Right next to her, we've got Benta Akinye, who's an acne champion and also a dermatologist. So we are fully covered from experience to licenses to, the full shebang. I can also not fail to acknowledge my wonderful, wonderful audience who take time to sit with us every single week as we share, as we learn, as we support each other through the conversations that we have. Asanteni sana for being here. I also appreciate you at home for tuning in every single Sunday at 4 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 for Dadas Show, as we grow as a people, not only for women, but also as a people. So let's jump into today's conversation. First of all, asanteni sana ladies, munakaa warembo sana.
Thank you.
In a world that is full of quacks and is also full of naysayers, especially when it comes to the space of skincare, every single person knows what you need to use, what you need to do. Kindly share with us your qualifications and or training that make you an expert in this particular field.
Okay, thank you, Ashiko, for having me today on the Dadas Show. It's a pleasure to be here. So I am a board-certified dermatologist, and I earned my medical degree from the University of Nairobi. And afterwards, I pursued my master's in dermatology in Cardiff University. That's in Wales, in the United Kingdom. So I have a general view about dermatology,
yes,
and also cosmetic dermatology as well. And I'm deeply passionate about community, education in terms of evidence-based skincare.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Benta, tell us a little bit about yourself. I always love when we hear personal stories. Okay. When we hear stories of triumph. Yes, there were struggles. I went through this, but I came out on top, especially in the space of skincare. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your skincare journey. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for the invitation. As you've said, I'm Benta Akinye, a clinical dermatologist. I started with clinical medicine and specialized with dermatology and venereology. This is my 3rd year in practice. I deal with clinical dermatology, that is the medical part of it, and also aesthetic, which entails cosmetic and beauty part of dermatology. Of course, skincare being vast, as you said when you started. Journey started way back in high school, when definitely we know that is the age where you get the effects and all those that manifest on your skin. And this came out from my HOD, who used to train us back then. And so I battled acne for ages while growing up, and definitely it was quite disturbing. Of course, we know how acne affects our esteem and everything. So my HOD called me one time in the office and was like, I know this is a struggle for you. I know this is affecting your esteem in one way or another. Do you really want to get treated? And I was like, yeah, I've sorted for help, but I haven't found. So HOD introduced me to Adama then,
yes,
which definitely due to funds back then, it wasn't easy. But I opted to already do it when I grew up. Why? Because I got the fundamentals, understanding why you need to treat this early, and to avoid the scarring issues and stuff. So I started that journey then, until it gave me that urge to do dermatology, and that is why I got into the field. And that is still the same thing I'm doing now. Why? Because we know acne is hormonal. You can never fade off acne.
Yeah.
You still will get episodes of acne breakouts, but at least now I know how to maneuver around them. And that is still what I impact to my clients.
Oh, wow. So, based on what Benta has shared, Daktari, how do you determine, because she's mentioned something about acne being hormonal, how do you determine the skincare and how important it is for, of course, picking a skincare routine?
So when it comes to determining your skin type, it's very important because that forms the foundation in terms of knowing what kind of skincare routine you need to have. So an easy way to determine your skin type, essentially you're supposed to cleanse your face, wait for about 30 minutes or so, and then you just feel how your skin feels to you. So if it feels very shiny, then most likely you could have oily skin or acne prone skin. If it feels very tight or dry and flaky, most likely you tend to have dry skin. Sometimes you can have what we call combination skin, whereby you have this area called the T-zone, which can be oily and the other parts are dry. So that means you have combination skin. Or if you feel after cleansing your face, your skin just feels normal, then most likely you have normal skin. So once you've identified which type of skin you have, then that makes it easier for you to be able to develop a skincare routine.
Oh, wow. That's really, really excellent. And still speaking on skincare routine, Benta, what do you know now that you wish you knew back then, especially in terms of your skincare routine? What are some of the mistakes that you made then that right now you sit down and say, that was a blunder?
I thank my OCD because I would have blundered. Why? The do's and the don'ts now. You find there is that thought like the over-the-counter drugs. So this I'm saying because you find somebody came and tell you that I've used this, it hasn't worked. But this thing that you've used was not prescribed by a derma. So that is a blunder because you find you will use something that maybe has been advertised on the socials, but really not recommended for that particular type of skin or what you're dealing with. So those are the things that I can say that we need to start from a point of a consultation from a dermatologist so to know what is it right that I'm supposed to use. So I really didn't blunder back then because I think I followed the channel that was advised to me by then, and that is why I still advocate to have a consultation with a derma. Yeah.
But let's go back still on misconceptions, Daktari. What are some of the misconceptions and what are some of the do's and the don'ts that you have experienced? Because like what Benta, who is also a dermatologist, has said she's experienced, people are coming to her and they're saying, I used ABCD. So aside from that, what are some other misconceptions and don'ts that you've experienced in your career?
So there are a lot of misconceptions out there when it comes to skincare. So you find that people usually assume that expensive means better or more is better for you. But when it comes to skincare, rightfully as you've said, it needs to be tailor-made for you and your particular skin. So more often than not, I would advise patients to first of all seek professional help, and then we can be able to tailor-make a specific treatment based on your skin type and whatever skin issues we need to address for you.
Oh, wow. Do you have another misconception you've had? Because I know there are quite a number. I know that's the first one. What about, I've had something about only natural products work? Yeah. What do you think of that?
In the medical field, most products come from the natural resources that we have, yeah?
Yes.
But you see, just like a ready-made thing, you will use it because it is ready. But this natural product has not been rightfully prepared for that skin. And you cannot quantify that this is a natural product, aloe vera, like for example. Now because you have acne, use aloe vera.
Yes.
We need to have that like a medical channeling on how to prepare this aloe vera to the right end product so that you can use on your skin. Another misconception I came across is acne only affects female. And you find out there, yes, nowadays we have even men who have identified themselves in line of skincare, and they are actually even also affected equally. But you find because of that notion of acne affects females, some might not come on time and they might hesitate, and once they come to you, this acne has already blown out. Blowing out, I mean, maybe scarring has formed, and there are those instances now scarring is not reversible. So this is a person you'd advise, if at all you'd have come to me earlier, we could have salvaged this. So there are in line more misconception outside here.
Oh, wow. So I hope even the gentlemen in my audience have heard that. Acne is not just for women. I also have another misconception, because remember, this is an episode where we are debunking some of the myths, some of the do's and the don'ts. There's someone who said that one of the misconceptions is that pores open and close, because that always happens. When I was nimeenda kufungua pores, when you use this, it counterly closes all your pores and you have that flawless finish. Is that myth or fact or myth? Do pores have muscles? Do they open and close? Please enlighten us.
Okay, so pores actually are found on everyone's skin, because it's an outlet to how your skin structure is. Yes. So they do not close or open. Yes. So that's actually a myth. What happens is, for example, if someone has acne, the pores can become clogged. We have accumulation of bacteria, of excessive oil in the skin, so the pores can become clogged. Yes. So maybe we can unclog them by treatments or some certain skincare routines, but the pores don't open and close. And
in a place where social media has become a source of information and a reference point for so many things, please enlighten us. Is water, just drinking water, is that sufficient to having clear and doll-like skin?
Really not. As you said, it's a misconception. And Dr. started by mentioning that the skin needs a lot. It's not only a package of a cleanser and a moisturizer. What we apply still counts on actually what we take inside. Like when you say water intake, water would be good, yes, but if a skin type is dry, it doesn't mean that it's going to reverse that dryness. Mm-hmm. You still need to use what we need to curb the dryness that you are facing. So water is essentially good for our health, but not really to make that skin glow. No.
So let's talk about a basic skincare routine. And today we're getting it from both of our doctors. If you can add something, you can move something. So let's start from a basic skincare routine, because I understand even as we grow up, even as much as our skins are different, our skin also varies according to our age. So what's the basic skincare routine for, let's say, somebody from the ages of 20 to 30? Can we categorize them together? I'll start off with you, Dr. and then we'll move on through the ages.
That's a good question. So when it comes to skincare routine based on age, based on different age groups, you find you have different skin needs as of that point. Yes. So between 20 to 30-year-olds, that's a very young person. So maybe your skin is still plump, but also that's the age group you could be dealing maybe with acne. But when it comes to a basic skincare routine, I'd advise to just keep it simple. So the main thing you need to do is to cleanse as the first step. So this basically removes any dirt or impurities or excessive oil that you have on your skin that has clogged up your pores during the day. The second thing is to moisturize, because you need to also, once you've cleansed, you return what you call the skin barrier back to normal. So that protects your skin barrier, so a good moisturizer. Then lastly, the third thing that you can do is to protect your skin from the sun, because as we know, the sun has these UV rays, ultraviolet rays that can damage your skin. So ideally, those are the three things. So you need to cleanse, to moisturize, and to protect your skin. But in addition to that, in case you're using any treatments, maybe you are managing for acne, perhaps you could also incorporate any prescription creams or serums, depending on what you want to target as of that point in your routine.
So is there something you're really targeting at between 20 and 30? Because there's all these serums there, the acids, oh my goodness. They're teeny weeny peoples, like I think they're below 10. I mean, no shade to anybody, but I'm thinking, they're scrubbing their faces, they're doing all of this, they're small girls. And I'm thinking, are we misleading? Is that even appropriate? Should they be, going ham and doing masks, and it's just a lot. So is that normal? Is that, is that a disservice to these children?
What I would say,
When it comes to skincare, we look at it from two angles. There's that aspect of protecting your skin. There's also that aspect of preventing any damage that could happen. Yes. So for those young girls, it's actually good that they are now starting to learn how to take care of their skin, because most of the time you start taking care of your skin when you're way older. So you've lost a lot of time.
So let's move on in the ages, because to the area that I know very many of my audience, we are all falling somewhere there. So let's look at between 30 and 40. Benta, what are we looking at in terms of skincare? Because I know hapa ndo mambo yote iko.
Thank you, Eko. So with age, definitely, we start by accepting our age, right? Because age, yeah. So age comes with a lot. And definitely the youthful skin that you had then is going to fade away with time. And yes, as we accept the age, we still want to look good. You still want to look defined. And so how do you achieve this? Understanding that as I age, there is some things that are going to go low, like now, the hydration part. You find a good example, your skin, like right now, is not similar to your grandmother's skin. Why? There is that collagen that is going to go low, slowly by slowly. And so now you want to still achieve your radiance. So you're looking at what is it that I can do when I'm at 40 to achieve that radiant skin. You want to use products that are going to at least reverse this process or even boost the collagen, because that is what you're going to lose as you're aging. You still want to up your game in taking water still. Why? Because the hydration level is going low. But it's good that we have products that will work on that. Something like hyaluronic acid is going to promote that hydration on that skin. So you look at your age and know what is it best that I can do. Still on age, diet is so much of a focus in skincare, not only products. What you eat really matters a lot. We cannot be bulking on junks and expect to have a radiant skin. For example, most of us women, once you give birth, stretch marks will develop. And you find that someone comes and tells you, I want to tackle this. Some things that happen to us are irreversible, now like stretch marks. But you'll go to a clinic and you'll be told, this one we can treat, you know. But those are just maybe just to give you hope, but stretch marks cannot be treated. This one you cannot reverse. So what do? You look at your diet. What am I taking that is going to boost the skin? You want to take a lot of proteins, because with stretch marks, it's the same collagen that has gone low. That skin has overstretched. So take a lot of proteins. This will boost the collagen. Yes, as much you're not going to get back your skin the way it was, but at least there will be some achievement from what you're doing.
So does the skincare routine remain the same as you're saying in the 20s? Do you just, the cleansing, the moisturizing? What does the basic skincare look when you're doing all these other things?
You'd always want to keep it simple, yes, with what works best for you. But at least now you know you're aging. This is what I can incorporate in my routine. Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Now, still on you, Benta, as an acne champion, what are some of the notable issues that you experience or that you've seen, people who have acne, eczema, and skin conditions undergo in Kenya?
Okay, thank you. So with acne, definitely we know at first it's a esteem issue. And being a lady, you'd feel like, no, I don't look nice the way I would want to look. And so you jump from one product to another, from one dermatologist to another. But what we need to understand is also the timeline that this skin takes to remodel. Yes, you have acne, maybe you've started treatment, but because we don't exercise patience, that is number one key thing in skincare. You really need to have patience, because you've started the treatment, yes, but in 2 weeks you're like, this product is not working for me. It will really not work if you don't have patience, because we have to give our skin time to remodel again, so that you develop a new skin out of what you're treating. And so with acne, you need to understand that, yes, I have acne, and accept that you have acne. Following up the routine that has been stepped in for you with your derma is really important. And avoiding the over-counter products. Yeah.
We've talked about over-the-counter, we've talked about prescription medication. Now let's look at the products that we are using. Because I think that's why we started by saying, there are all these products that we are using. Yes, you've gotten the information that you need to get. Maybe it was not necessarily a case to see the derma. You know your skin type. You know that I need hyaluronic acid. I'm getting a little bit older. I'm doing this. What are some of the ingredients that people should look out for, especially when it comes to buying products? You know, the do's and the don'ts. If you see this, avoid that product at all costs. If you see this, then you have a green light, please.
Okay, so when it comes to buying the products and what to look out for, so this again boils down to what your skin type is. So if you're thinking that you have dry or sensitive skin, you're going to look at something with hyaluronic acid, which you alluded to, which actually it's a molecule that draws water into your skin. Again, niacinamide is also something to look out for. It also has properties that soothe your skin. So if your skin is sensitive, it can cause soothing of the skin and also hydrate. And also to some extent, it also helps with pigmentation. And then also if you have maybe conditions like eczema, you need to incorporate or look for ingredients that have ceramides, which actually help with your skin barrier, which usually is distorted in someone who has eczema. Another product you can look out for if you have oily or acne-prone skin, you look for things with salicylic acid. Again, also benzoyl peroxide is important. And then also when you're purchasing a sunscreen, it's important to look for sunscreens that have something we call titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, because that provides a barrier on your skin such that when the sun hits your skin, it reflects back like a mirror. So very protective for your skin. Then also if you want to also start preventing aging, like anti-aging products are also there. You've heard of retinols or retinoic acid. Yes, yes, those ones.
The retinols.
Exactly. So when you reach a certain age group, it's good to start incorporating retinols into your skincare routine. Again, if you're dealing with post-acne hyperpigmentation or any disorder that has left you with dark spots, there are products to look out for, things like lactic acid, glycolic acid, vitamin C, which tend to actually brighten your skin. So based on the issue that you want to address, you can be guided on what product you need to buy.
Okay. Now you said what to look for, what to avoid. You know, what are the things that are there to avoid? And that is, I think for me, that is the biggest, because the information that you've shared is very, very good. But now when we're going to buy, I'm going to get salicylic acid from somewhere. And of course, in Kenya, you can never be sure if this is original, this is counterfeit. So what am I supposed to look out for, even when it comes to not only to the skincare products, but even to makeup?
So when it comes to skincare products, the ones that you need to avoid, basically if you have like sensitive skin, you need to avoid things that you've seen they have alcohol inside them or fragrances, because those can further irritate your skin and worsen your condition. Also sometimes a funny thing is that essential oils sometimes also tend to irritate your skin. So stay away from them if you tend to have sensitive skin. And then when it comes to products that are too expensive, it doesn't mean that you need to buy expensive that is, means it's good. That one, it's not true. You can get very affordable. It's neither here nor there. So yeah, those are the things you'd need to avoid when you're buying.
Benta, do you have anything to add on to what are some of the things that people should avoid?
Thank you. Of course, you'd have to check on that product because, again, you see in this world nowadays, we have a lot of counterfeits. Number one, you need to know that this product is original. Find it's hard in a way to define original products, but it depends, again, with where you buy them. Number two, there are things like products that have formaldehyde kind of components in them. As Daktari said, alcohol products, and sometimes even in our cosmetics that we use, you find maybe deodorants that have alcohol, but still on a prescription side, you'd want to use it to achieve something else. So it really depends on what you're prescribed on to. you'd want to use things that have sulfates probably, and you find some products also are listed as paraben free, so you want to avoid parabens too. So there are quite a number listed, yes.
So basically what you're saying is there's a lot of information out there, but first and foremost, where you're buying your product and how to verify that it's an original product. I love that. Thank you so much. So if we, before we take our break, what is some of the piece of advice that you'd want to give somebody who is struggling with a skincare condition, Doctor?
So depending on the skincare condition that they have, because there are many, I'd advise the first thing you need to do is actually seek professional help. And then if that is too far out of reach, at least do the basic things that we mentioned, the core 3 things, at least cleanse, moisturize and protect your skin. So if you're dealing with eczema, it means you really need to focus on the moisturization part of it, because eczema tends to give you very dry skin. But then on the flip side, if you're dealing with a condition like acne, when you're buying a moisturizer, now you need to look for things that are oil-free. And what you asked about makeup, you also need to look for makeup that says maybe non-comedogenic, which means that you're not forming comedones, which are there in acne, or mineral makeup is what you can buy, because those are things that won't clog your pores. So again, based on the condition that you have, you can tailor-make your skincare routine. But the baseline is to seek professional help if you have a skin condition that's troubling you.
That's troubling you. What about you, Benta? What words of encouragement do you have for anyone who's dealing with skin pigmentation, any skin disorder of any form?
Still on the same line as Doc has mentioned, you have to start with that professional seeking, which at least will give you a guide. That at least when you don't come back to Daktari, I know what to purchase. Because at least there will be a guide on this is what you can be using, this is your type of skin, so avoid such products, okay? Another thing you have to consider is, I still champion more about patience in skincare, because you will walk around doing a lot of products, but until you exercise patience, you won't achieve what you need out of it. So use the simple procedures, follow your advice from your doc, and exercise patience. I know patience is priceless, but a little bit expensive at the same time. Yeah. So we really need to buy it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I like that. I like that, exercising patience, because which also plays in line with some of the products that you end up using and some of the products that you end up seeing. Because I think if a condition has formed over 3 years, there's absolutely no way someone can try and peddle a product that will tell you that you'll be better in 2 weeks. You know, so I think sometimes it's also important to apply logic when we are looking for products, when we are looking for a solution for our skincare conditions. So we will take a short break and then we'll be back for the question and answer session. So don't go far away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you have missed one hell of a fast segment, but fear not, because every single episode of Dadas Show can be found very, very easily on YouTube and the Dadas Show on the KBC channel page. You can like us, you can follow, you can prescribe, and tell us what we should be featuring in our next coming episodes. We truly look forward to your opinion. Remember, this episode is about the do's and the don'ts of skincare. And we are just about to get into our question and answer session. And I know, just like you at home, even my audience have very many questions. So let's just get right into that. We're going to start off with Michelle. Michelle, karibu sana.
Okay, so my question is, bleaching products are openly being sold, and they are being, people are doing it even on TikTok. You can see people saying that they are bleaching their skin. So will this come and bite you in the back in a few years, or is it okay to bleach your skin?
The basic fundamental part of it first is what you mentioned about going first to your dermatological consultation, and you will understand what you need to use with that advice. But you can still define all of them to know what is right and what is not right to be used. Like when you say bleaching products, there are those that, yes, will bleach your skin. Like for example, when you use steroids will definitely bleach your skin. Like for example, there are products in the market that are enriched with steroids, but maybe they are termed as skin products. Maybe that essentially is for treating other conditions that will need the steroid in them, but not to what you are focusing with the issue that you have for your skin. Secondly, there are, yes, lightening products that should maybe be prescribed for maybe when you have things to do with hyperpigmentation or acne scars out of the acne that have been treated. So definitely what you will be prescribed to use will depend with the type of condition that you have. Thirdly, we have, yes, we have bleaching products, we have lightening products and brightening products. So brightening is what you want to use maybe to even your tone. And maybe you find your skin tone on the face is different from maybe your chest and other body parts. And you want you to have a whole even tone on your whole body. So this means that there are those regimens that have been formulated to tackle that, but they are really not bleaching agents. So you find maybe you've used a product that will brighten your skin, and out of it somebody mentions that you've been brighter than how you looked. Or maybe they will term it like you've bleached your skin. Really not, you haven't bleached, but you've brightened, you've taken your skin tone to where it was supposed to be.
Who is doing the checks and balances for the products that are being sold out here? Is there a board that is protecting Kenyans from, you know, some of these products that are being sold that perhaps have not even gone through KEBS, they've not gone through anything? They're just promising good thing.
Like for example, you come to us, I will let you know that you can get these products from this store and this store that are maybe licensed to sell the right products. But when you ask about Mikorogo, they have that thing that is in them that makes it, you want to go to use it again and again. Why? Because when you stop, your skin will go back to how it was. Because now your skin is going to create something like a dependency thing, which majorly in them is that steroid. So steroid is something that when you use and stop, you're going back to how it was before. And you find you can even have those now side effects like steroid-induced acne, which comes out of you now stopping using them. So your skin has reached a point where it really depends on this steroid to be what you want it to be. Once you stop, it goes back. So there are no licensed bodies that is going to regulate the Mikorogos.
Oh, wow. Well, they should be. What about you, Daktari? Please, weigh in on what we are talking about.
So when it comes to the Mikorogos, unfortunately, KEBS does do its due diligence when it comes to the products that are supposed to be sold. But unfortunately, through back doors and that street in town, you find it just goes unregulated. And again, what she mentioned is that there are very many side effects for Mikorogos, not just the lightening of the skin, but when you withdraw, you can have the acne, as she said, you can start having fungal infections on your skin that you didn't have, you can start looking red, such that when you go to the sun, you're burning. You know, ideally for a skin tone, you're supposed to tan, but when you use the Mikorogos, you start burning, looking red. You can also develop some small blood vessels on the skin that we start seeing which are visible. So ideally, it's just important to avoid any product that's not licensed. And as you've heard, it's just been corrogoed, you know. You can't trust something that has just been mixed. Yes.
You know, yeah. and no shade to anybody's business, but I believe that if you're going to use something on your skin, which we said is the largest organ of your body, then you owe it to yourself to do complete research. You owe it to yourself to do to consult a specialist before you carry on. And if your main point perhaps is to lighten your skin and for you to become light, I think we need to dig deeper into the psychology behind all of that before we start treating the symptoms instead of treating the problem. So let's move on to our next question, which is from Monica. Monica, karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Ashiko, and your beautiful panel. My question goes to Daktari, and for the skincare routines, I know we have talked about the external products. I want to know the legitimacy of the injectables. I've seen from the socialize and these social media influencers, where they use stitches to tighten the skin, or maybe the eye bags. We also have some of the things I have seen them injecting. I don't know, it's called glutathione or something like that. What are the effects, and are they legitimate? Are they also, do they really work? That's the first question. My next question is, what is the difference between hyperpigmentation and sunburns? And my last question, I know dermatology issues is one of the sectors that people don't take really serious. Apart from the one which we know of, acne and eczema, that take people to the dermatologist, you find that the common person, like myself, I don't remember if I've ever gone to see a dermatologist. So at what point do I need to see a dermatologist? And maybe do we need to create awareness on the same? Thank you.
So thank you, Monica, for the question. So when it comes to when to see a dermatologist, ideally it's important to see a dermatologist when you start struggling with your skincare, especially when you're trying products and they're not working for you, or you develop a new rash, or you're getting some sort of irritation. But if you've been blessed with good skin, you do not have to see a dermatologist. Just remember the key things that we said about cleansing, moisturizing, and a sunscreen. That's your baseline when it comes to skincare. But when you have issues, or when you're confused and you don't know where to begin, then you can just see a dermatologist to sort that out for you.
I'll tackle the sunburn issue. So we get sunburns out of the damage from the sun, which we can also revert by using the sunscreens. That is a sunscreen that has both strengths to curb the UVA and UVB sun rays. Hyperpigmentation, on the other hand, is out of a result of something that maybe your skin had before. For example, you had acne that had been treated, and then as a result, it comes as a mark. So you have that hyperpigmented mark on the skin, which is the melanin that has formed on that area as a result of what was there. So they are different, yes, because this is the damage. Sunburn is the damage that had occurred, but hyperpigmentation is as a result of what was there, which also can be treated.
Wonderful, I like that. And the final question?
Glutathione is given for skin lightening, and it's given when the indication is there for it. So what I would advise is that if at all you are to go that route, you need to look for someone who's licensed, because those are injectables, meaning they are going into your system, so they can cause more damage because they are going straight into your bloodstream. So you need to look for someone who's licensed, who can do it, who knows the correct dose, so that you don't endanger your own life. And then what you're saying about the things on the face, that's something we call threading that's done. Again, it is a safe procedure to do, and it mainly targets people who want to rejuvenate their skin, because once you put in those threads and they pull your skin, what they do is that they start initiating collagen production in your skin. So it's actually anti-aging. But for these invasive procedures, what I'd advise, seek professional care when it comes to such procedures.
How exactly does the string do things?
Ideally, you put in the thread is attached to like a needle,
okay,
that you put through your skin.
Yes.
And then you pull from the other side.
Okay.
So as the thread is being pulled, it has ingredients in it that when they start reacting in your skin or being broken down in your skin, they trigger collagen production. And so they're actually a good way to rejuvenate your skin, but from the inside, a bit more invasive than you just using your topical retinol.
Okay. So you walk around with stitches like a rag doll.
The threads are usually inside your skin.
Oh, they're inside your
They're
skin.
inside your
I've
skin.
thought
You
about
cannot
it
see
literally.
them.
Monica, I hope your questions have been answered. I hope they've been addressed in full. And I thank you so much, ladies. I feel like we have a treasure trove of information when we have Benta and we have Dr. Gashanja here with us. So let's move on to our next question. This is from Bridget. Bridget, karibu sana.
Thank you, Ashiko. My question is, are there some skin problems that can be confused with others? Then you end up being misdiagnosed, you're given prescription, and then the prescription affects you more than how your skin was.
So that's a good question. Sometimes, depending on who sees you when you address any skin concern, some conditions do look similar. So for example, if you are having a condition we call psoriasis, it really tends to mimic a fungal infection. So you may find that, or the other way around, you could have a fungal infection that looks like psoriasis. So if by mistake you're given something like steroids to apply on a fungal infection, what that would do, a steroid would actually make the condition worse. So it's important to see whom you're seeking skincare from. And also, sometimes we do treat conditions like eczema with steroids. And when you use steroids for a long time, by yourself, maybe you disappeared, you lost to follow up, you may come back with acne because steroids can give you what we call steroid-induced acne. So it's important to always do your follow-ups correctly so that you don't get side effects of some of these treatments that we may give you.
Definitely possible for you to be misdiagnosed and then a lot of confusion inside there. So at the time you're coming to see a doctor, you're coming to see any medical practitioner, you can definitely look at their reference number to verify if you're dealing with a quack or you're dealing with an honest person. I think that would be the best way to go. Thank you so much, Bridget, for your question. And then our final question for the day is from one Mr. Ndegwa. Ndegwa, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. My question was on, I don't know if this is in your field, but I wanted to know about hair loss, if you address the issue, and if there is anything that can be done to prevent, and once it happens, what you can do, is it reversible? Then on my other question was, is there a recommended routine, skin routine for the men? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So yes, hair loss has to be defined first. Like you have to understand what is the reason why that hair is lost. Understanding hair loss definitely has to be diagnosed by a dermatologist because there are patterns of hair loss that are treated differently. Like number one, something like fungal infection can still affect the hair, and you find you might lose your hair through a fungal infection. Number two, it can be baldness out of genetics, that you find it's familial. That is irreversible. If your family line, maybe your grandparents or father who still has baldness, you will also experience baldness. But this can be treated, although the hair will still just go off if it was to go off. So hair loss, yes, is part of dermatology and can be treated in various ways. Like if it's fungal, you'll treat the fungal infection and you'll restore back the hair. If it's hair loss due to maybe just alopecia, which might come out of not maybe a fungal infection, still can be treated by using products like minoxidil, furestimide. There are various products that you can use, sprays, creams that you can apply on your scalp and will restore the hair. But first it has to be diagnosed by a dermatologist to know what kind of hair loss it is.
Yeah. Excellent. I'm more inclined. I never knew that dermatology also involves the hair and the nails. If you've got issues with your nails, if you've got issues with your hair, see a dermatologist ASAP. But it's also sad when you say if the hair was to go, it will go. So it's very final. If it was to go, it will go, especially if it's genetics. But please carry on. There was a second very, very important question. What's the recommended skincare routine for a gentleman?
So for a gentleman, the recommended skincare routine remains the same as for females. Ideally, you still need to cleanse your skin, you still need to moisturize, and you still need to protect your skin by wearing a sunscreen. So it doesn't deviate in any way from the female sort of skincare routine. Maybe for them who have beards, a bit of that will alter because you might need to moisturize your beard, keep it trim and neat. So that would be the only alteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like hizi ni vitu za wanawake Radoli. There's nothing like hizi ni vitu. The regimen has not changed. It's the same and it has the same impact for both men and women. Thank you so much for that. And I'm really excited about the questions. I hope even you at home are learning a thing or two. I want to give an opportunity to my wonderful panelists to give us a parting shot for today's episode. Give us, words of advice about, about being positive about your skin. I'll start off with you, Dr.
So when it comes to your skin, what you need to remember is that your skin doesn't define who you are. And if you're battling with any condition, then seek professional help. We can always manage. And when it comes to something like a skincare routine, ideally you just need to do 3 things. Keep it simple, keep it safe, and keep it suited for your skin.
I've not had anyone there saying keep it expensive. What about you, Benta? Yes?
Thank you, Yeko. So, as Dr. has said, simplicity matters a lot in skincare. You shouldn't get tired, but still the message that I'll send is about patience with skin. You really need to exercise patience, because out of it, you're going to gain what you want. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. So we have come to the end of today's program, and I think my take is very simple. As much as we would like to have ageless, poreless skin and look like those TikTok models, we need to appreciate that our skin is very unique to us. There are certain factors that are beyond us, like our genetics. So it's important, first of all, to understand your skin and love the skin that you're in. And of course, by then you will be able to appreciate it and of course appreciate yourself more. So on behalf of the production team at KBC, my location partner, Manzoni 680 Hotel, myself, Ashiko Mbone, I wish you all a lovely week. Remember to love your skin, because it is the largest organ of your body and it's the one that is going to ferry you till the end of this particular road. But for now, goodbye.